morning, friends. It's an honor to be here with all of you at the Tachlis Jewish Advocacy Conference, a gathering rooted in responsibility, really, and collective action. We can do extraordinary things when we come together with clarity of purpose. Antisemitism today, as Dan alluded to, is not a whisper, it's a roar. Shouted in our streets, embedded in our institutions, and spread through our digital platforms. And what was once fringe has gone mainstream. Hatred has become almost casual. This moment demands more than outrage. It demands strategy, it demands unity, and it demands courage. Never again can't be a slogan. It must be a mindset, a daily discipline of vigilance and of truth. Our story as a people is not one of despair. It's one of resilience and renewal, of carrying light through darkness and transforming adversity into purpose. We are not here only to defend ourselves. We are here to define ourselves with strength, with dignity, and with clarity. There is no single remedy to anti-Semitism. It requires a multi-pronged approach, combining education, accountability, bridge building, digital responsibility, empowerment, and action. And it calls on us to stand proudly in who we are, to draw strength from our story, our values, and our enduring spirit. We must educate, restoring truth where distortion has taken hold. Too many young people are learning about Jews in Israel through manipulated online sources. Wikipedia, one of the world's most visible platforms, has become a source of distortion about Jewish history. When distortions like that are amplified by search engines and embedded into AI systems, it becomes mass information and a crisis of truth. We must hold institutions accountable, governments, universities, media, and technology platforms. Neutrality in the face of hateful distortion is complicity. Anti-Semitism is not only about the Jews, and it's not only a threat to the Jews, it's a warning light for all of democracy. We must build bridges because hate never stops at one community's borders. I've been in dialogue with leaders across communities, including Van Jones, who will be here later this week, and whose Exodus initiative has strengthened alliances between Black and Jewish communities. I'm also working with Kevin Vuong on a Chinese and Jewish solidarity initiative in the face of rising hate. And it's meaningful to be here alongside Raoul Raza, co-founder of the Council for Muslims Against Anti-Semitism. Raoul has spoken with clarity and compassion about the need for truth over distortion and for solidarity rooted in shared humanity. A true example of allyship in action, and I'm looking forward to the allyship panel later today. We must also empower one another to stand tall, to advocate with clarity, and live our lives with pride. We must move through the world, and when we move through that world, anchored in who we are and guided by our values, we infuse light rather than reacting to darkness. We must engage young people because culture shapes conscience. Music, art, and media reach where policy cannot. To inspire the next generations, we have to meet them where they are, with sincerity, with clarity, and the awareness that Jewish values and universal human rights are deeply aligned. And we must remember that our advocacy is not only local, it's global. From discussions in Davos with global CEOs to the pages of Time magazine, where I've written about the need for clarity and courage in confronting hate, one lesson stands out: truth and courage in leadership matters. That conviction is rooted in the legacy of Raoul Wallenberg, the namesake of our organization, a man who risked everything and proved that one person's clarity of conscience can awaken the conscience of nations. Above all, we must act together. Passion without coordination fades. Outrage without structure is fleeting. Progress happens when conviction meets collective action. So as we gather here today, let's remember three guiding principles. Truth is our foundation. Partnership is our amplifier. And action is our legacy. If we stand together across communities, faiths, and nations, we can build a world where disagreement sparks dialogue, not hate, where respect is the rule, not the exception, and where never again is not a phrase we repeat, but a promise we live through vigilance, education, and courage. Let's move forward with clarity, resolve, and Tachlis. Real practical action that makes a difference. Thank you.